We've made it to the Premier League. I hate transfer windows with Newport. There's just no money. We don't belong here. Let's go and kick some balls. Hello and welcome back to Rodney Parade Newport, and if you're a first-time visitor here, then subscribe, watch, like and comment and help us to support research into chronic heart disease, and you'll be doing us a great big favour. But we are going to be starting off with the end of season review. We were promoted at the end of last season to the Premier League. And so let's start with the new arrivals to the squad. And we can see Alfie Lloyd, Jensen Weir, Billy Cometio, Isaac Smith, Jamie Hamilton, all did really, really well. Billy Cometio I was particularly impressed with, and the board were extremely happy with his transfer. But Alfie Lloyd was in fact the best of the bunch for me. George Wickens, Daniel Williams, Adam May never quite fulfilled what their promise was, but still had pretty good seasons for us. Everybody played well in that promotion season. In terms of the transfers out, Robbie Gotts did very, very well for his club Sheffield Wednesday, but nobody else performed of any decent level. And loans out, Isaac Smith did very, very well, and we brought him back mid-season. And Yeboah Amankwa, just an average for him. He's a good player, but he's nowhere near good enough to go forward into the Premier League. And in terms of the season, we didn't have a particularly great start. There was a few reds and yellows in there, and we were looking towards the playoffs by Christmas. But at the end of the season is where it all came right for us, and I believe it's down to endurance training, where we put together that 10-11 game unbeaten run, 10 wins on the trot at the end of the season. The board expectations were to fight bravely against relegation, but what a fabulous season it turned out to be. In the FA Cup, we were knocked out in the fourth round in that memorable game against Everton, where we were 2-0 up but couldn't actually hold out. It was a very, very upsetting result, but we did very, very well. And in the Caribou Cup, not much to talk about. We were knocked out in the second round by Queen's Park Rangers. So overall, it was a season to remember, and we were very, very happy. Our biggest win was early in the season, a 6-1 win against Millwall, and the most memorable match was Barnsley versus Newport. So memorable, I don't actually remember it. And the goal of the season, which I'm just wondering, can we see it? Which was a defeat to Bournemouth. Can we actually see this, I wonder? No, we can't see it. I don't know why they put this in. They won't allow you to see it, but I don't remember the goal. But it must have been a good goal in that 3-1 defeat at Bournemouth. And in terms of the finances, our reputation has grown by half a star now, which is very nice. But there's a lot of red in here, and I don't understand it. Broadcast revenue is down, although sponsorship is up by 2 and a bit million. Broadcast revenue went down. Corporate and hospitality went down. People didn't want to come and see us. Competition prize money was up. But match day commercial and retail was down. Maybe people just like in Newport unemployed at the moment and not a lot of money to spend. I don't know what the reason is for that. Really, it's not my job to worry too much about those kind of things. And in terms of the shirt sales, Timmy Abraham, the fans' favourite, of course, was number one. Williams, Carey, Weir and May made up the rest of the top 5 shirt sales. And the team of the season, excellent, lot of greens in there. Rogers, Duhaney, Hamilton, Duzak and Lewis, Beelen, Weir, Williams, Carey, Abraham and Mcneill. And it was a very, very good team at the end of the season. They played together a lot, and they became a very, very good side at the end of last season and achieved the promotion for us. Couple of Manager of the Month awards in March and April, but nothing else to shout home about. The Fans Player of the Season, Timmy Abraham. They love Timmy Abraham. And the Young Player of the Season, Charlie Mcneill, a great player on loan from Bournemouth. Signing of the season, of course, Billy Cometio. And the goal of the season we know about, Charlie Mcneill, top goal scorer with 22 goals. Sonny Carey, most assists, 12. Highest average rating, 7.4 by Charlie Mcneill. And Billy Cometio, most completed passes. And so, all in all, an excellent season by everybody. Record breakers, Timmy Abraham has now scored 91 goals for the club in his 4.5 seasons with us. And George Wickens, goalkeeper, we paid the highest transfer fee ever for. EFL Young Player of the Year was Charlie Mcneill. It was a great season. It was a great season overall, and can't have any complaints with that whatsoever. So I think now we should be looking at what we've done over the summer. And we brought in Christian Bielik from Derby for £6.75 million. The money that we've had is not enough to bring in great players. He's a good player. Whether or not he's good enough for the Premiership, we shall find out. He certainly at centre-back gives us the best option. He certainly looks like our best player. And we brought in a goalkeeper. We were very short in goals, so for £2.4 million from Preston, we brought in Ellery Balcom. Again, he's probably a great Championship player, but in terms of the Premier League, we will have to wait and see. Can he step up? Who knows? And it's really unfortunate that we don't have any money to spend. We'd already brought in Jamie Hamilton prior to the season ending. Probably a mistake now, not thinking we would get promoted. But we have bought Charlie Mcneill, which is good news. He's a very good player, and we paid £9.75 million on the credit card, of course, for him. Hayden Hackney, again, already we'd brought in a ball-winning midfielder for £475. And we just bought Haji Manoga from Portsmouth. Although he's not a great player yet, I do like the look of him as a defensive fullback, and he might do well as a defender. We also brought in this guy, Kirjan, who attacking midfield or midfield. He looks like a very good player to me. Whether he is going to step up to Premier League, we have to wait and see, but he's certainly a very good Championship player. And then on loan, we brought in from Aston Villa Louis Barry. Again, he's probably a decent Championship player, but whether or not he can deliver in the Premier League is another matter. We had to improve at fullback. We brought in a young fullback, Brooklyn Leons Foster, who, although again not Premier League quality, he's better than the fullbacks that we have already. And we brought in this youngster, Kovic from Red Star for $3.2 million, and he's a young boy and he's got a lot of potential. Whether there's enough time for him to see that potential through in the Premier League, I don't know. He's very young and may struggle in the Premier League. And then we brought in Dmitry Barinov, defensive midfielder. Now he looks like he could step up to the Premier League. and I'm hoping for big things from him. We brought him in from Celtic for 1.1 million, where he'd not been functioning very well, and we decided to give him a chance here. In terms of the players out, George Wickens, goalkeeper, was sold to Everton for 375k, a loss really on him. Adam May went out on loan for 90% of his wages. And we released Dan Sweeney, Josh Pask, Domesco Duhaney and Aaron Livermore, as well as Hancock and one or two other players from the under-23s. And so it's been a busy transfer window, and the improvements that we've made have been slight, given that the finances that we had, we haven't been able to do the business that we would really like to do. Anything like the players that will keep us in the Premier League. We are destined to be relegated without a shadow of a doubt. And in terms of the Premier League schedule, we have Wolves, Tottenham, Charlton in the League Cup, Carabao Cup, and Everton in the first month. Any points from here will do nicely. I don't see us getting a single point. The team simply isn't good enough. But now let's go to the Wolves game. And we're away at Wolves, Balcom in goal, Leons Foster, Balick, Cometio Lewis, Bernoff, Kirjan Weir in midfield, Carey, Abraham and Mcneill will be up top. And so let's go and play some football and see what we can do here. And I think this is going to be a theme for the entire season. We are the underdogs here. Just go out and make me proud. That's pretty much what I'm going to be telling them for the entire season. And so the match gets underway. Our first ever game in the Premier League. And I think we will have, 38 games in the Premier League. And then that will be our last game in the Premier League. But we have a throw-in, and it's Leons Foster. And he finds Mcneill. Mcneill looking to go down the right, and that's a poor pass. And Wolves bring it forward, and that's a ball inside. But robbed, and Abraham has the ball now. Abraham, he gives it to Cometio, expecting Cometio to have a good season, to step up. He's been with us a year now. It's about time he really stepped up and showed us what he's capable of. And here's Kirjan. Kirjan looks for Foster. He finds Kirjan again. Can they get a cross in? Not really. They're being closed down particularly efficiently. Kirjan with the cross, and Abraham at the back post. Abraham has scored our first goal in the Premier League. It's Wolves 0, Newport 1. What a great start to our adventure in the Premier League. Kirjan found Leons Foster, back to Kirjan, and Abraham just found some space at the back post. And it is Wolves 0, Newport 1. And there's a highlight straight away from the kickoff. This is always a bit of a worry as Wolves look to bring it forward. And Wolves are very, very good side. Dendoncker, Neves, Neto, they're all very, very good players. Twanzebe, they are far better a team than us. As Semedo, another name, finds Neves to Semedo. Wolves are looking to patiently bring it forward. And there's a ball out to the left. And here is that Cody playing at full-back? And Dendoncker fires in a cross, but that's headed away. And here comes Kirjan. Kirjan driving forward at the Wolves' defence. And he's looking for Mcneill. And Mcneill is in the clear. Could he make it 2? And it's so close. So close. I'd put my house on Mcneill putting that in. And oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. But still, it's still Wolves 1, Wolves 0, Newport 1. And we are creating the better chances as Wolves look to build again. And Christie finds Neves, who's in the game a lot. He finds Neto driving down the left. Can he get a cross in? He gets the cross in, but that's headed clear. and Wolves bring it forward. And there's a shot, and Wolves have scored. I don't know how to say his name, Mcneill or something. He's just equalised for Wolves. It's now Wolves 1, Newport 0. I'm going to make a little change. We're going to regroup now, save some energy, hold on possibly to the 1-1 for half-time. But what a good goal. It was a brilliantly curled shot into the far corner. But hey, we don't expect to be winning games comfortably. We'll take any points. And if we can get a draw here, that would be absolutely fabulous. But Wolves have a free kick by the look of it. And it's Neves over the wall. And Neves with the free kick. And it's now Wolves 2, Newport 1. And welcome to the Premier League. Reality bites. And that was just a very, very simple free kick. I've got to question the goalkeeper's positioning. What a dreadful, oh dear. But we are actually creating more than Wolves, and at half-time it's Wolves 2, Newport 1. We've had the better of the game, I think, and I'm going to tell them I'm a little bit disappointed, given that we've had the better of the game, and we should be doing a little better than we're actually doing. But here are Wolves again, looking to build from the back. And they are being very, very patient. They're not rushing. We're going to go back and press them. I don't want them having that time at the back to just pass it around. We need to get a little bit more urgency into our game. And Weir picks up a very poor pass. And Biranov finds Kerry. Kerry back to Biranov. Cometio, he looks all the way back to Balcom. Balcom, I'm hoping he will have a very, very good season. He's a much better goalkeeper than we had in Rogers. And that's a great ball over the top to Kershan. Kershan tries to lob the goalkeeper, and that was not far off at all. And I don't know why he just didn't put his laces through that instead of trying the fancy little trick. Just put your laces through it. I'm going to make some substitutions here. I'm going to bring on Hamilton. And the centre-back is getting very, very tired. And we're also going to bring on... We're going to not do anything for the time being. I don't like being in the Premier League at all. But now I'm going to bring on Hayden Hackney, I think, but not yet. As Wolves have a corner, and that's headed off target. Wolves are still coming forward, and that's blocked and goes out for a corner. And looking for players who are tired. Cometio's not having his greatest game either. Carey's not having his greatest game. Boys are going to actually struggle. And we're just going to replace the tired fullback and bring on Swanson. See if he can make anything happen. As Neto again, he looks for a cross. And that's headed away. And Wolves once again, Semedo bringing the ball forward. And he looks for a cross. And again, it's headed out. We're defending resolutely. We're not putting much together in attack. And Cody fires the ball in and Cometio heads it behind for a corner. It's painful to watch. And we're going to bring in Bilen now. Because I just feel I need to do something different. As Abraham drives forward at the heart of the Wolves' defence. And can he get a cross in? He's looking to get to the byline, crosses in, parried by the goalkeeper, and Mcneill. Mcneill has followed up, and it's 2-2. What a counter-attack goal that was. I'll put that down to a goalkeeping error, but I don't care. He just didn't deal very well with Abraham's low cross and just palmed it out, and Mcneill looked like he just shinned it into the back of the net. And 2-2. There are 72 minutes gone. It's Wolves 2, Newport 2, and if we can hold on to this, then we will have at least 1 point in the Premier League, which I wasn't expecting. I was expecting to have 0 points by the end of the month, looking at the fixtures. And as we've looked towards now, and Newport have a chance. Lewis fires in the ball, but that's harmlessly through to the goalkeeper. And yes, I will take a point here at Wolves. Away at Wolves, getting a point will be a great result. We just need to now hold on. But once again, Wolves looking to exploit the left-hand flank as Neto fires in a cross again. And that's headed away. And just hold on, boys. Just hold on as Wolves try to come forward again. Neves. He looks for Cody. And Cody tries to cross it into the box, but it's cleared away, and Abraham picks it up. Abraham can't hold on to the ball, and Wolves bring it forward again. And this is a chance. He must score, and he's hit the bar. Just get it away, and Newport have survived. And can we just now see it through? Yes, we can. Full time. In a very even contest. It's Wolves 2, Newport 2. We'll take that. We're in 8th place. I couldn't have wished for a better start in the Premier League. I'm not expecting it to continue. If we look at the fixtures, Tottenham at home, Everton away, in between those Charlton in the Carabao Cup. I think we might come back for the Chelsea game after the transfer window has shut. I'm still trying to do business in the transfer window. So I guess we'll come back for the Chelsea hammering that we're about to have. And that's it for this episode. Don't forget to subscribe, watch, like and comment. Help us to grow so that we can support research into chronic heart disease. And all that remains to be said now is welcome to the Premier League, and we will see you in the next episode.